Tribute, we continue with China. The Chinese ambassador to the European Union, Zahng Ming, will join us. Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you, President von der Leyen, for inviting me on behalf of the Chinese government to attend this event. I wish to thank the EU, the World Health Organization, and the relevant countries for the efforts to make this event possible. In face of a pandemic, there are no onlookers. All countries are in a community with a shared future. At the extraordinary G20 Leaders Summit held late March, President Xi called on the international community to enhance confidence and to act with unity and comprehensively strengthen international cooperation. The G20 leaders made serious commitment to working together in response to the pandemic, lending new impetus to the global fight against the virus. In the recent phone call with President von der Leyen, Premier Li Keqiang expressed China's appreciation to the EU for actively answering WHO's call and launching the pledging event together with other countries and international agencies, which China is willing to help and support. China is a responsible member of the international community. Despite the daunting task of outbreak response at home, China is doing its best to help those countries in need. The Chinese government has set up a special fund of COVID-19 cooperation worth RMB 2 billion and has provided much-needed supplies to over 150 countries and international organizations. Chinese local governments, charity organizations and NGOs, and as well as business communities, has given aid overseas worth more than 2.5 billion RMB. The Chinese government has also invested over 1 billion RMB into science and research on COVID-19. The Chinese research institutes and companies have invested far more. China also supports other countries in getting commercial access to medical supplies in China. In the past 2 months, Chinese companies have supplied 24 billion face masks, 120 million protective suits, and 44,000 ventilators overseas. Since the outbreak, WHO has played a central role in coordinating global response to COVID-19. China will always support WHO. We have donated $20 million to the WHO to support response to COVID-19 and have recently announced another donation of $30 million. As the first country to have reported the outbreak to the international community, we have made progress in prevention and control. China is sharing our experience and know-how as well as protocol guidance and diagnostics, and has set up its online COVID-19 knowledge center that is open to all countries. We have held over 120 video conferences with health experts from 160 countries and international organizations. And to strengthen global cooperation and defeat the pandemic at the early rate, we will take an active part in the therapeutic accelerator program launched by the WHO and other parties, and set up research cooperation with CEPI, Gavi, and other international agencies in terms of pharmaceuticals, vaccines, and testing research, with a view to jointly building a solid defense against the virus. Developing countries should not become the weak link in the outbreak response. Due to the constraints, developing countries have difficulties in fighting the virus, and we feel the pain that our brother countries do. China will try to help as much as we can and help developing countries shore up their public health system and strengthen their response capacity. We will suspend debt payment due by 77 developing countries to help them ease the economic pressure. We call on the international community to jointly support developing countries, and we stand ready to step up multilateral cooperation. In fighting the virus, confidence and solidarity are much valuable than gold. Panic and blame game are not useful at all. It is our conviction that together we can rise to the challenge and prevail. Thank you.
This concludes the formal pledging round by governments for now. And we proceed to our partners.